Hey friends! I want to chat today and answer the question, how do we give ourselves grace and forgiveness when we are learning new ways of being and we mess up or revert? And I thought this was such a great question because, frankly, whatever new way of being you are trying to learn, wherever you're trying to heal and grow and create something better or different, you are going to revert. It is just going to happen. It's part of the process. And you have to go into this work understanding that that is what is going to happen. Because when we're learning new ways of being, we are going against programming, subconscious programming, and patterns that have such deeply worn grooves in our brain, in our nervous system, in our bodies, in our way of being in the world. And so it's inevitable that when we start trying to step into a new way of being, that we're going to revert and we're going to mess up. And sometimes those missteps have greater consequences than others. So I understand that it's not always as simple as, oops, my bad, let me try and do better. Sometimes there are real consequences, especially in relationships, in our work, in our lives, where there's not a lot of room for error. But it's going to happen. It might happen in a small way and it might happen in a really big, massive way with really big, massive consequences. But what's really important is that we stop telling ourselves whatever story we're telling about what it means about us as a person. All it means is that we tried to step into a new way of being. Maybe we did great for a while and suddenly we reverted or we messed up somehow. That's it. That's all that happened. It doesn't make us a bad person. It doesn't make us incapable of the changes that we say we want. It doesn't mean that it's impossible to have them, that we don't deserve what we want. It doesn't mean any of the stories or things that we tell ourselves. Excuse me. All it means is that we need more practice in this new way of being, in this new belief system, in whatever it is that we're trying to do differently. So we don't necessarily dismiss it and let ourselves off the hook. We continue to hold ourselves to a higher standard, but we don't do it in a way that makes us bad and wrong, because all that's going to do is paralyze us. Then we're afraid to take more steps. Then we're afraid to keep trying. It becomes too great of a weight or a burden, messing up or getting it wrong along the way, that we stop trying altogether and we hold ourselves back and we aren't able to create something better or different in whatever area of our life. So we hold ourselves to that higher standard. We recognize, I messed up. I fell short. I fell flat on my face. I failed. And we don't assign stories or meanings. All that happened is that we messed up, we fell short, or we failed. We didn't do what we said we were going to do. We reverted to an old way of being that we have decided that we don't want to be in anymore. We have to be able to recognize it and get honest with ourselves and really take the opportunity to say, okay, why did that happen? Was it just a blip? Did I just fall into old programming? Was there something that triggered it? Was there a fear that came up about this new thing I'm trying to create or this new way of being I'm trying to operate in? A lot of fear will come up when we step into new ways of being, and a lot of our subconscious programming comes up and finds ways to get us to stop and go back to what's old and familiar, even if we're really highly, deeply committed to something different. So we have to take that time to get honest with ourselves that it happened, see if we can figure out why did it happen. Again, no stories, no meaning, no making it mean something about us that we're bad or wrong. We just messed up, we reverted, and we make the choice again to recommit to what it is that we say we want and that new way of being. And we learn from those experiences and we do our best to do better. And so it's really, really important that we're able to be honest and present with ourselves. And the only way that we can do that and remain productive in this work is to not make ourselves wrong or bad. So just notice next time you say you are committed to something, a new way of being, a different outcome, something different, something better, you're going to start showing up in a certain way, whether it's your health or your finances or your work or your relationships. Notice when you fall short, when you mess up, when you revert to the old ways. Acknowledge it for what it is. Oops, I did that. That happened. Ask yourself why. Was there any particular reason? Was it that you're just in a well-worn groove that you have to constantly remind yourself to step out of, or did something specific trigger it? and learn from it, and then recommit and just get back to it. Feel your feelings. Always, always feel your feelings. Face and deal with and handle the consequences. You are perfectly capable of doing that, no matter what they are, and keep moving forward. It is the only way to step into a new way of being fully and completely to where it is your standard operating mode in that particular area. You've got this. If I can answer any questions, please let me know, and I will be back soon in another video.